Stoked organization is to promote personal development, academic achievement, and healthier living for underserved youth through action culture sports. We are at the Union Square Ballroom where Paul Rodriquez, otherwise known as P-Rod, is receiving an achievement award. We caught up with his speech for Polytech High School in Brooklyn. Please check it out.
Every circumstance, you have to turn it into an opportunity. There's no, I don't know, there's nothing you can't do if you don't, when you put your mind to it. There's nothing you can't accomplish. And like, it starts first in your own heart, in your own mind. You have to believe it first. It doesn't matter what anyone else believes. The whole world could tell you you're crazy. It doesn't matter. Like, it only matters what you believe right here.
We caught up with Paul Rodriquez and other celebrities at the award party.
It's hard to put in words, but it's a huge honor. You know, for something that they're doing here, you know, for the type of work that Stoked is doing, I'm glad to be involved with it. I'm glad that they're recognizing my involvement with it, and I just basically want to just help support them so they can continue to grow and to affect more kids' lives. So I'm honored, but you know, it's all about Stoked.
And what advice, how do you see that Stoked organization has helped kids academically, particularly with action sports?
Yeah, well, you know, through action sports is just another avenue to draw them in, you know what I mean? And Steve, the founder of Stoked, told me today that they have 100% graduation percentage for the past 4 years, so that's pretty incredible. But I think it's just, you know, exposing kids to new opportunities and new things that they've never done before, and kind of showing them, you know, you learn a lot through action sports. At least I have through skateboarding. It's all about falling down and getting up and trying again, perseverance, determination, all those type of things I've learned through skateboarding. So you can apply all those to any lesson in life, and particularly in school, because, you know, I remember going to school and like taking a test and not knowing the answers and kind of getting discouraged, and it's all about getting up and trying again. It's not about, you don't fail until you give up, you know? So I think he's just really trying to instill a certain state of mind into these kids, which will in turn affect how they approach life in general, but specifically academics and all that.
All right, well, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
So what brings you to Stoked organization?
You know, my good friend Sal Masekela and starting this organization and doing a great job, especially the young people, and sort of linking and creating that connection, also in terms of education and also sport and how it's merged together.
How do you think that sports has helped education for kids today?
I think sport is directly related to education, because a lot of times you have kids that aren't able to focus, but then they're able to perform their sport and they're able to relate it back to education. You're able to create a cross-cultural connection that's able to keep a kid both interested, active, and on an intellectual growth level that wouldn't have been there if the sport hadn't been there. They work together.
So can you tell me a little bit about the bow tie cause?
Well, I don't know if the bow tie cause directly relates to sport, or directly relates to education, but I will tell you, well, let me take that back. When you talk about bow tie cause, and you talk about education, you talk about sport, they're all interconnected. You know, my friend challenged me, he said, if you want to be somebody, you got to rock the bow tie. I in turn rocked the bow tie and came to understand that it's about sort of first impressions. And first impressions are important even within the game that you play. The first step that you make on the field, the first tackle that you make. So all the lessons that I've learned have been wrapped up into the four corners of the bow tie, which is self-representation, service, collaboration, critical thought. And at the knot, when you tie it all together, it has to do with education. So in essence, he taught me through dress that sport, dress, and education all linked together.
Well, thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Snowboarding at 8 years of age, how do you think sports define your life?
You know, sports for me have been kind of like a tutor. It's how I've grown up. It's how I've learned about life. You know, they're a whole lot of fun, and they've taught me amazing things along the way.
And let's talk about determination. Obviously, it's a quality in every sport that you need to have. How do you think that's important for a child to learn?
You know, from when I was a kid, my dad always told me that I could do anything that I wanted to do, and I believed him in that. And so I pursued that in snowboarding, and I am very determined person, and I think, I love snowboarding because I can blur the line between what's possible and what's impossible, and, determination that you learn in sports really carries over in every area of life, and so I think, as a kid growing up learning that, I think it would be, helpful in any area that they pursued after sports.
Last question, why snowboarding?
I grew up in a mountain town in Vermont. There's not a whole lot going on there, and my dad was a ski bum, so he had me on skis when I was 2 years old, and then at 8 I started snowboarding, and that was kind of what I fell in love with, and I started because I loved it, and that's why I still do it today.
Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Tricia, as Stoked is for action sports, do you feel like you can really offer a lot to kids?
Yeah, I think Stoked is an awesome organization, and they can really like open the doors to action sports and teach them about the principles of action sports, and it's just amazing what they can do, what they've already done.
What's your favorite part about being a part of Stoked organization?
I'm just inspired by Stoked really, and like Steve and Sal and those guys. I feel like they've done a lot, so it's just like I've been to a couple after-school programs, and it's so amazing to see just the sort of passion and enthusiasm that Stoked has brought to kids that maybe would never like skateboard or snowboard or surf or understand or realize that they could have like a career or a life path in these fields. So I don't know, it's just inspiring.
So, last question, what gets you stoked these days?
I'm still pretty stoked on snowboarding.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
For more information on Stoked, please visit www.stoked.org.